Alright guys, so we have our schema set up, we have our events, our front end list display. Now what I want to do is the details page. So if we click read more, we're going to go to events/show/ and then the ID. Alright, so we need to first make a new route. So you want to go to routes.js, and I'm going to copy this, and then right below it we want /events/show/:ID. Okay, so that's going to basically a placeholder for the ID. And then as far as the template goes, we're going to go to views, events, details. Okay, so we'll have to create that. Actually, I'm sorry, we don't want to set the view here. We want to set, we're going to go to index. We're going to go to the same thing we did here, except we're going to call the read method instead of find. Alright, so then we'll save that and go back to index.js. And this function is going to be much easier. I think the users have a read function as well. Yeah, so we'll just copy that like we did before. Okay, and let's see, this ends there, so we want to go down here. Alright, and we're going to say request app db models, change user to event. Now we're going to use this find by ID. We actually don't need this populate or this one, so this should just go right to the exec function. Alright, and then let's see, function error, and change this because we're getting an event, not a user. And then if error, then we're just going to return next. If there's an XHR request, then we're going to send event. And then we're going to say else render. And then here is where we'll put the template that we want to render, which is going to be events/details. Alright, and then same thing with the data here. I'm going to replace this. I'm going to replace that with event and then event. Okay, so we're passing this along to the view. Alright, and then we should be able to access that event in the view. So save that, and then we'll go to views, events, and then we want to create a document. We want to create details.jade. I'm going to paste this in. Okay, so we're using the default layout. We're setting the title to the event name, and then in the body we have an 8-column div, and we're going to have the h1, which will have the name, and then we have a small tag with posted by, and then the event username, and then we have a UL with the class of event list, which will have the venue, the date, the start time, the end time, and then we'll have a paragraph with the description, and then we'll just have a link that says go back. Alright, and then this over here is just the sidebar. Change that. Alright, so we'll save that and reload the server. Okay, and go to the home page, events, and then click on read more. Alright, so something went wrong. Can't read property name of null. Alright, so that means it's not seeing the event. It's seeing it as null. So, let's see, events. Alright, so I found the problem here, and it was in the schema. Alright, and it was because we declared the _ID here. So, if we remove that, should be okay. Save, and we'll go ahead and restart the server. And then if we reload, there it is. Alright, so this is giving us all the details of the event with this ID. Alright, and we can click on it from the main event list. And we can go back, All right, so that's that. That takes care of all the front end stuff. Well, not the front end stuff. I guess you could say the public events. All right, because now we need to work on setting up it so that the user can see their events only, and also add new events and edit their current events. Okay, so I think that we'll start with adding events. All right, so when the user's logged in, we want a couple new links. So let's go to the default layout. So this would be layouts default.jade, and what I want to do first is the sign up link. I don't want to show that if the user's logged in. There's really no point to that. So we'll go right above it, and let's see, we should be able to say if not user, and we'll say not user dot username, and then you want to make sure that you indent that like that. Okay, so if there's not a user, meaning if you're not logged in, then the sign up will show. So let's just try that out. So we'll save. If we reload, now we are logged in, so that's right, we shouldn't see it. So if we log out, oh, so you still can't see it. Alright, so that's not right, because we should be able to see the sign up link now. Let's see, so if not user and not username, you know what, I think we need to set up the users global. So I want to check out the app.js, and I thought that it did it right here, res.locals.user. Let's try and reload the server. Okay, so reload. Oh, the sign in is over here. I was looking over here. So sign in. Alright, and alright, so now it says sign out. And we can go to the home page. Alright, and then it says our name. Now for signed in, I want to add a few links over here. I want to add in a link so that they can add an event as well as look at their current events. Alright, so we're going to go down here, and I'm going to add a list item. So li, and then a link, so href, and we're going to set this to go to /my-events. Alright, and then I want to have a calendar icon. So if we go down one, tab over, and say i.fa.fa/calendar. Alright, and then the text, we're going to use this pipe character to add text to after the icon, and we'll say my events. Alright, and then we're going to have another list item, and let's see, that'll have a link. Okay, that link is going to go to events/events/add. Alright, and then we'll put an icon there as well. So i.fa.fa plus. Alright, and then we want that pipe character, and then the text we want, which will be add event. Alright, let's give that a shot. Alright, we want to add a little space after the icon. Okay, so I want to put that here. think that'll do it. No? There we go. Okay, now if we log out, you can see that those links are no longer there. So let's first work on the add link. Alright, so we'll work on the add event. You can see that we have it going to event/add. So we have to add that route. Okay, so we'll go to routes.js, and I'm just going to paste this in. Alright, so we're going to require views, events, index, and then the add function. Alright, and then if we go to our index.js, this is going to be really simple. I'm just going to paste this in. Basically, all we want to do is we want to render the template, the add form. Alright, that's all we want this to do. We're not doing a post to it yet. We will be once we submit the form, but right now we just want it to display the form. And then we're saying if they're authenticated, if they're not authenticated, they're going to get redirected to events, and they're going to get this message. Okay, so we'll reload, save. And what we need to do now is make the template, alright, or the view. So in views, events, I'm going to create a new document, and I'm going to call this add.jade. Alright, this is going to be the form to add an event. Alright, I'm going to just paste this in. Okay, basically we have a form, has the method of post, and it's going to be going to /events. Has the name, description, all the event fields, and then just a sidebar. Okay, so we'll save and then restart. Alright, and now if we reload and go to add event, it brings us to a form. Alright, so it's not going to work yet. We have to make the post request handler. So let's go ahead and make the route for that. Okay, so inside routes, okay, this time we're going to make a post. So it's going to be app.post because we're sending a form to the server. And it's just going to be post events. And then we want to require views, events, index, dot create. Alright, and create is what's going to handle submitting the form to the database. Okay, so we'll save that and then go to our index.js, and let's actually look at the user's create function first. Okay, so it's right here and it goes down to here. So we'll just copy that in and then we'll change it up. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff here we don't need. We're going to keep this workflow variable, which is just a utility to help with posting information to the server. Okay, this validate, we want to change the username to name because that's the main field for an event. Alright, and then workflow outcome errors push. We'll say please enter a name. And then we're going to return the workflow emit with a response. Alright, and this stuff here we don't need. We don't need this duplicate username check. Okay, so we can delete this one here, this function. Create user. We want to change that to create event. All right, and then fields to set.